You could be carrying $1 million and still be worth almost nothing. Across Africa, some currencies have fallen so low against the dollar that everyday life is becoming harder to afford. Several currencies trade at low values against the United States dollar. The Sierra Leone as of May 2026 requires over 22,929 units just to equal a single US dollar. Guinea's franc trades around 8,784 to the dollar. Madagascar's area sits near 4,194. Uganda's shillings goes around 3,780 and Burundi's franc at roughly 2,975. And for every percentage point of depreciation, there is a cost paid not by governments or central banks, but by ordinary citizens at the market, at the fuel pump, at the school fees counter, already stretching for every coin. So what exactly does a weak currency mean, and why does it matter? Simply put, a weak currency is one that buys less when exchanged for a stronger international currencies like the US dollar or the euro. Practically, citizens need large amounts of local currency to buy goods or services priced in foreign currencies. Weak currencies make imports more expensive, reduce purchasing power, and can worsen inflation, leading to higher living costs and lower confidence in the local economy. The causes are complex, but the patterns are familiar. A weak currency typically results from poor economic fundamentals, high inflation eroding the purchasing power, current account deficits where countries import far more than they export, and political instability that deters investment. Take Sierra Leone, for example. The country faces high inflation, economic weakness, and substantially debt burden. Political instability and weak governance continue to undermine investor confidence. The impact, however, does not stop at the exchange bureau. It moves into markets, homes, and businesses. When currencies weaken, the cost of imported goods, food, fuel, medicine, machinery rises sharply. Businesses pass those costs on to consumers in the form of hiked prices for the essential goods. The human cost surfaces in the most intimate of ways. For example, workers whose salaries and wages remain unchanged suddenly find their incomes buying far less at the market than they did a year before. However, it is worth noting that a weak exchange rate does not automatically equal a weak economy. The exchange rate reveals a country's prevailing economic conditions. So what can be done? Strengthening of the weak currency can potentially be done by the central bank through various monetary policies, and one of the tools at their disposal is adjusting interest rates. This can attract foreign investment as higher rates offer better return on investments denominated in the local currency. However, the path forward requires more than adjusting interest rates. It demands stronger institutions, reduced dependence on imports, investment in productive industries, and political stability that gives both citizens and global investors the confidence to commit.